to know the real reason why only 8% of women make it to executive leadership? And it's not what you think. It's not about credentials, your experience, or even your network. It's about something more subtle, but infinitely more powerful. Today, I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on what actually creates unstoppable career momentum. And let me tell you, it's the opposite of what most leadership experts are teaching you. Are you ready to command any room without saying a word? If yes, this is the video for you. Today, we're going to be diving deep into something that's revolutionising how women lead in 2025. And trust me, this isn't your typical how to be successful in business type of video. That is not it. Because today, we're going much deeper. So firstly, let's talk about redefining professional power. So firstly, let's address the elephant in the room. Those outdated leadership models that we've all been pressured to follow. And you know the ones: being the loudest voice, aggressive assertion, constant competition, masculine energy dominance, and sacrificing femininity for authority. Like, those are so outdated, and we are saying goodbye to those ways of leadership. So here's a fascinating thing about leadership in 2025. Quiet confidence outweighs loud dominance. Influence trumps force. Feminine energy enhances authority. Presence speaks louder than words. And authenticity creates lasting impact. And the thing is, having worked in the corporate world for such a long time, it kind of opened my eyes to so many different types of leadership styles, especially by women, because I found out a lot of the places that I worked, there was a lot of women leaders. And what I noticed is, especially in the last role that I had, a lot of women led through dominance. They led through aggressive assertion. They led through masculine energy dominance. And I tell you, they got the worst result. I worked for a company as a temporary member of staff. For many companies I worked for, I went in as a temporary member of staff. And a lot of the times I go into teams that were just very deflated. They weren't performing well. They just wasn't happy at work. And what I'd do is I would go in and have one-to-ones with each member of the team to find out what it was. And what I found was that most of them were tired with the way that the manager they had was treating them or managing them. You know, a lot of women feel like it's about dominance or dictation or micromanagement. Those are all masculine ways of leadership. And what I did was I went in and used my own unique leadership style. And what I found is that because I led through feminine energy, that I got results. And that happened so much in so many companies. I'd go in and the people that I led, they would do whatever it took to make me happy. They ended up loving their jobs because of how I led them. So yeah, feminine leadership is the way forward. So now let's talk about the magical thing called presence. But first, let's clear something up. Professional presence isn't about power suits or nice hairstyles, because a lot of women think that it's all about how you look. Whilst you've got the aesthetic right, whilst you've got the the power suits, the nice bag, the nice hairstyle, that's it, you're going to get the results. It doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't. It's about energy management and intentional impact. So let me break this down. So let's talk about magnetic presence elements. So that is energetic alignment, strategic silence, intentional communication, emotional intelligence, quiet authority, graceful boundaries, and authentic authority. I had this client, let's call her Alexandra. And Alexandra came to me very frustrated because she says, despite her expertise, she always felt that she was invisible. She always felt invisible in meetings. She was either being overlooked or overcompensating. Does this sound familiar? So here's what happened when she mastered quiet authority. Her suggestions were implemented more often. Her team's productivity soared. Her presence was requested in key meetings. Her salary increased by 40%. Who doesn't want a 40% salary increase? And she felt aligned and authentic. So now let's talk about the art of professional boundaries. And this brings us to what I consider the cornerstone of quiet authority: masterful boundary setting. And let me tell you, this isn't about being rigid or defensive. It's about creating a container for your power. So let me break down the 3 pillars of elegant boundaries. So number 1 is time boundaries. And what you need to incorporate is strategic calendar management, meeting parameters, response timing, and energy preservation. So this is ensuring that you create boundaries with your time, because time is energy and time is money. So you can't be spending too much time on one thing when you've got other things to do. So make sure you set boundaries with your time. If you're in a meeting and it's said to last 2 hours but it's running into 3, be assertive. Make it known that you've got other things to do and you need to leave. And if they need to forward on any information to you, let them know that they can email it to you or arrange another meeting. But if you've got things to do, make it be known. So number 2, energetic boundaries. And this is about presence management, emotional containment, energy protection, and impact curation. So when it comes to things like presence management, when you are, say if you are in a meeting or you are sitting down for dinner with a loved one, ensure that you are present. Make it be known by your body language, by how you respond to conversation. And also protect your energy. So that's where the energy protection comes in. If you receive for instance, if you receive a email and the email is in a tone that you don't like, if you are not in the frame of mind to respond to that email right there and then, refrain from doing it. Take an hour or 2 and then reread it and then respond when you've kind of calmed down. Because at the end of the day, we have to protect our energy. I've received text messages where I can feel the anger rising in me, and what I've done is I've had to put down my phone and not read it any further. And maybe later on or tomorrow when I feel like I'm in a better mood or I can actually handle that, I'll read it if I want to. Sometimes I've just erased them because I thought I don't want nothing or nobody messing with my energy. I'm within my right to do that. So number 3, communication boundaries, which are clear expectations, elegant no's, value articulation, and respectful limits. So when it says elegant no's, we are all in our rights to say no. No is a whole word, it's a whole sentence. You don't even have to give explanations when you're saying no. If somebody asks you something and it's not something that you want to do or it doesn't align with you, then you can say no and feel no guilt at all. It is a whole sentence, remember that. But all you've got to do is ensure that when you're saying it, say it in a way that doesn't sound aggressive or, to make the other person feel a way about it. You can say no in a nice way. And always let people know your expectations. So if you're in a meeting, in a business meeting, in a Teams meeting, when I say team meeting, I mean, like if you're in a team meeting, make your expectations of the person or the persons that you're talking to be clear. Be clear with your expectations. Be clear in your communication, because when you're clear about your expectations, clear with your communication, they can never misinterpret what you've said because you was clear. I remember when I first got into management and managing teams, and I would get people just putting things on my desk, managers from other departments throwing things at me or saying, oh, this is for your team to do. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, if they're giving it to me, I've got to do it. They wouldn't be giving it to me if it wasn't for me or my team to do. But then, as I moved forward in management, I used to think, people do like to take the piss sometimes. If you allow them to take an inch, they will take a mile. Is that what the saying is? Something like that. But sometimes I realised that they just didn't want to do the work themselves, and they just thought that my team was their scapegoat, and they will pass on work to my team and I wouldn't question it. Then after a while I used to think, no, I'm putting my foot down, and I used to be like, sorry, I've just read through this isn't for my team to do. I'm sorry, they've got other tasks to do, our calendars are booked up, we can't help right now, I'm sorry. And they'd just go away and take it. But that made me realise that people will keep pushing if you allow them to. They will push your boundaries if you allow them to. And when you're doing work that's not for you, you end up depleted. And then when it comes to your own workload, you end up being behind and stuff like that. And you don't need that. So have boundaries. So through that experience and many more experiences, I decided to implement something called the Queen's Boundary Protocol, and we're going to go through that right now. The protocol elements are: 1, the power pause. So that includes having a 24-hour decision window, response timing control, which means that you don't feel pressure to respond right now. You've got time to respond. You can respond in your own time. Don't feel pressure to respond. Just because a message comes through now doesn't mean you have to respond right now. Let them wait. And the next thing is strategic availability and energy assessment. So, be strategic with your availability. If you've got a meeting or you've got other things to do, then you're not available right now, and you are in your right to let someone know that I'm not available right now, but tomorrow I've got more time on my hands. So I will look at tomorrow. And don't allow anything or anybody to kind of shift your energy, because sometimes we can get a bit anxious when we get these emails or when somebody's pushing for an answer or a result. But just take time and pause. Take time to pause. So let's talk about number 2, which is the elegant redirect, which is formed of graceful delegation, alternative solutions, resource optimization, and team empowerment. So when you're managing a team, I think that when it comes to delegating, I've had to delegate to teams. When you're a team manager, that's just something that you have to do. But when you're delegating, letting them know that if there's anything that they need help with, you're here. I used to always be like, I've got this piece of work, would you be able to work on it? And if they say yes, I'll let them know that if you need any help or if there's anything that you don't understand, feel free to let me know and that we can go through it together. And it's about letting your team know that you are there for them. We are a team. Anything that you've got to do, I can do too. Not just because I'm a manager means that I can't do the work that you have to do. If I have to sit down and show them how to do a task or mentor them, that is what I will do to get the best out of my team, because if they're good, I'm good, we're good. So let's move on to number 3, which is the value frame, which consists of worth communication, priority alignment, impact focus, and standard maintenance. So this is about knowing your value, knowing your worth, prioritising your needs as a manager, as a leader. So knowing that if you want to be able to make a good impact on your team, knowing that you have to be in alignment, you have to be focused, you have to do what it takes to bring yourself up to be a top leader, whether it's training, whether it's just taking some time away to evaluate or reevaluate what you currently know and taking the necessary steps to get to where you need to be so that you can be the best leader that you can be. I've got this new course called the Quiet Power Revolution program, and I tested it out on one of my friends. And the reason I tested it out on her is because she was in an executive position and she told me that she was struggling from constant interruptions and overtime demands. So I thought, let's just test it out and let's see how it goes. You know, because sometimes when you're creating new programs, you have to kind of test run them. So I thought she'd be the perfect person to test it out on. And these are the results after implementing these boundary protocols. Her productivity doubled. Her team became more autonomous. Her work-life balance transformed. Her authority deepened and her influence expanded, which are great results because that's what we want. We want a team that works with us, not against us. When you work for an organisation, you are all working towards the same result, really. So working together is the best thing, and having a team that are willing to work their hardest is the best thing. And when you're a great leader, that is what happens. So now let's break down how to implement this into your professional daily life. Morning power protocols. Do your boundary intention setting. Do your energy protection ritual. Do your strategic day planning. And do your response framework preparation. And throughout your day, ensure that you're doing your elegant boundary checks, doing your power pause moments, which are something that I think are so good. Like when you are in a moment where you just need to regather your energy, just stop and do your power pose and you will feel the realignment straight away. And again, like I said, do your energy realignment and your strategic redirects. And a lot of this stuff you won't fully understand until you either have a one-to-one or take one of my programs, where we can tailor a program to your needs. So if you need help or you'd like to take one of my programs, email me at naomi@thediaryofnaomi.co.uk. So let's move on to the evening integration, which is doing your boundary assessment, doing your success celebration, because no matter how good or bad the day went, we always have at least one success to celebrate. So make sure you do it. Do your next day preparation and your energy restoration, which could be a meditation or doing your affirmations or something like that. But restoring your energy is a must, especially before going to bed. What I want to talk about now is that most leaders, whether you're new to leadership or you've been in leadership for many years, you will always have your issues. You will always face challenges as a leader, but it's about how you deal with those challenges. So let's talk about the different challenges that you might come across. So number one, the pushback challenge, which will usually consist of handling resistance, maintaining composure, reinforcing standards, and preserving relationships. And I feel like one of the most important ones in that list is preserving relationships, because when you're a leader, you've got to lead in a way that's going to make what people want to follow. Everyone has different personalities, so you have to know how to maintain relationships. There will be relationships that are hard to handle, but if you're in your feminine energy and you kind of know how to use it in the right way, then you will always be able to preserve relationships or know how to preserve them. Sometimes it's not easy, it's just about the skill behind it. So now let's talk about number two, the guilt factor, which is managing internal resistance, honouring your worth, releasing people pleasing, and embracing authority. So let's move on to number three, which is the consistency test, which is about maintaining boundaries, adapting to situations, evolving standards, and preserving energy. So when someone pushes your boundaries, try this. I understand that this is important to you. So let's schedule in some dedicated time to address this matter thoroughly. Or I find that I'm more effective when I maintain focused work blocks. How about we connect at 1 p.m? And another one is, I appreciate you thinking about me for this. To ensure I deliver excellence on my current commitments, I have to decline. Then now let's move on to the next level of leadership. If what I've discussed resonates with you, I want to share something special that I've been creating behind the scenes. I'm thrilled to announce that soon I'll be opening the doors to my Quiet Power Revolution program, as well as the Quiet Power Leadership Academy, which is a transformative journey where feminine magnetism meets professional mastery. And this isn't going to be just another leadership program. Let me tell you that now. This has been created to revolutionise how you command presence in any room, navigate corporate dynamics with grace, create lasting impact without burnout, and build your unique leadership legacy. The Academy will include foundation pillar, which is energy mastery techniques, presence cultivation, authority alignment, and power activation. The professional mastery pillar will include strategic communication, influence acceleration, network expansion, and value articulation. The leadership integration pillar will include team dynamics mastery, decision-making framework, executive presence, and legacy creation. While the full academy is still in development, I'm looking for a select group of founding members who will help me to shape the program, receive exclusive founding member discounts, get direct access to me during the journey, and influence the creation of future modules. So as we wrap up today's training on Quiet Authority, I want you to take a moment and integrate what we've discovered today, which is true power flows through authentic presence. Influence is created through energy mastery. Boundaries are the foundation of respect, and your unique leadership style is your advantage. So what I want you to do is take a deep breath with me. Come on, let's take a deep breath. And imagine with me. Where could you be in 6 months' time if you fully embodied quiet authority, mastered the art of magnetic presence, led from a place of aligned power, and created impact without exhaustion? So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I want you to let me know what shifted for you today and which boundary technique resonated with you the most. And also, what's your biggest leadership challenge right now? So again, I want to say thank you for watching to the end, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and share this video with other like-minded ladies. And don't forget, your presence is your power. Bye for now. Mwah.